Runescape is a big place. I've been playing Runescape for a long time, since about 2004. And although I've gotten far, I've never come close to maxing out, beating a bunch of bosses, or even close to completing every quest. I also enjoy watching Runescape creators. One of them being Jimmy. And me and Jimmy have something in common. Procrastination. So today, I'm challenging Jimmy to a battle. Well, he doesn't really know about it, but I'm gonna try to finish every quest in RuneScape 3 before Jimmy can finish his by-release series. And while RuneScape 3 does have a lot of advantages, Jimmy is very far ahead, being on Sins of the Father as of September 30th, 2023, aka quest 145 out of 158. Now, there are 248 quests in all for RuneScape 3, so this will be a very difficult challenge. I'll be playing as a hardcore Ironman with 1 life and hoping I can survive the whole time without dying, but if I do, that won't disqualify me since I am not very good. And without further ado, let's go create a new account. Alright, first we go ahead and create an account as close as we can get to by release. Go over to Turel, and he shows us a fallen brother that died from the hands of goblins, which is not cool. So we're gonna go over here, accept a couple quests and stuff. First, we're gonna go chop down a tree. It's weird that you get into the game to do the tutorial. So I played a little bit of RuneScape 3, and then I switched back to old school RuneScape, and I've been playing that pretty much ever since. So I feel like old school RuneScape is kind of like riding a bike, but even though I've played this before and I have like almost a maxed account, it's still like kind of weird to me. Anyways, we're gonna come over here, catch some fish, cook them up, and then head into the mines. It's the same thing, kind of like the tutorial in old school RuneScape, even though we're outside in the main game. You know, gather some stuff, make a little bronze. This system here is pretty interesting, so you can like dump all your ores and then your bars inside of the actual smithing, like the anvil and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but it is a lot more AFK, and I think that's what RuneScape 3 is all about. It's about like making your life as easy as possible. But I am surprised to see how many people that are still playing. Like, there's a lot of people here, and I'm not like on the trading world or anything. I'm just like in a regular world. I think I'm in Dungeoneering, like World 7. So we're supposed to use that thing over there to superheat our bar, and then it makes it go a lot faster, but I didn't really know that at this point. I'm kind of just skipping through the tutorial. I'm gonna take a moment of silence for our fallen friend. I'm gonna cry for him and give him the best salute that I can. And then we're gonna go get some revenge on the goblins. These things are pretty easy, especially with the combat system. You can set it to automatic, which is what I have it on. And then it just does all your special attacks and stuff for you. But these things get quite obliterated. But now that I got my new fresh cape, it's time to go fight this thing. This thing actually looks like an old school RuneScape boss. And I don't know if I can beat it because it looks crazy. Hopefully I can finally finish it. Oh, it's dead. It's dead. So at this point, I noticed that you're supposed to create an Ironman on the main account that we just saw when we were making the character. And I'm used to old school RuneScape, how at the end of the tutorial you pick. So I had to make a whole new character. We did all the mining, the smithing, the fishing. We did all that stuff again. We fought the big giant thing. And then we can finally move on. So we make our way over back towards Lumbridge, where we're used to being. Oh, after we kill some cows. Killing cows in this is really funny. It sounds like World War I is like going off in the background. Like there's explosions and all kinds of stuff, but then you're only doing like 3 damage to the cow. While we're on the way to Lumbridge, we're going to hit all these lodestones. These things let you teleport around without using runes or anything. So once you unlock them, then you can just always teleport there. I saw this little scary thing to the left, and I wanted to look at it, but I don't know. I don't want to die already when we're only, like, 5 minutes into our account. But we finally made it to Lumbridge. And now it's finally time to get started to work on our first quest. Now, the first quest is pretty interesting. This guy definitely lied on his resume a lot. I don't know how this guy doesn't understand where ingredients from a cake come from. Like, I understand I'm not the one, like, milking my own cow when I go to the store and stuff, but I know, like, what animal it comes from, at least. Like, this guy is just clueless. But I'm glad to see that they kept some of the old school quests inside the game, because if not, it would be kind of sad, I guess. Just to, like, reminisce on the old times. Although I will say a lot of the quests are quite a bit different than old school. And we're going to see that here shortly. So the cow is basically the same, but then everything else is slightly different. Here's the cow. We just grab the bucket, milk the cow like normal. But we get like high quality milk. It's called something else. It's like frothing over on the side of the bucket. But here, I looked around for a while, and then I found this super large egg in the corner. In the chicken coop. And so you can't use, like, a normal egg for this quest. You have to grab that giant one. And then over here, normally you'd have to go buy, like, a pot from the general store or something. She just straight up gives you one, and then, besides picking the wheat, you basically have everything that you need just from this quest. You have to talk to her, though, because she puts it on a special setting that you need for the cake. I'm not really sure why. Yep, you just talk to her for a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you guys have done this. So you just go to the top, put the wheat in, and then it grinds it up, and then you gather it at the bottom. It's funny, she even brings up how you're supposed to use the general store to go buy a pot, but then she's like, you seem like a nice enough guy. Here, just have some of my pot. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not even old enough for that. And she's like, take the pot, boy. So in this game, like I said, there's a lot of quality of life things. So you can right click and then go all the way down to the bottom, which is pretty cool. Especially here, like in the Lumbridge Castle. But there we go. We got everything that he needs. It's just turning everything in at this point. Also, you can see my character is very pale. I don't really go outside in real life because it's dangerous out there. There's like mosquitoes and people. So I made my character as much as true to self as I could.
Completed?
There we go. Our very first quest is all done in the books. And it's time to move on to quest number 2. Alright, so now we're talking to a priest. And apparently he has a problem with a ghost that's been haunting around and messing with people. So let's go figure out what's going on. This quest, I would say, is the most true to old school RuneScape as I've seen so far. Just wait until later, until we get to like Demon Slayer. Then it gets pretty it gets pretty wacky. So alright, this guy tells us that we have to go find Shrek in the swamp. So we'll just head to the south here. Talk to this guy. He says he's meditating. So I told him that I was going to repossess his house, and he got really pissed off. And then he just threw a ghost speak amulet at me and told me to get out. But thankfully, that's what we need for the quest. Apparently, the preacher or whatever has been getting into a lot of trouble since this guy's gotten into town. You guys can speculate on, you know, what you think the priest is up to, the preacher. All right, so we finally get to the coffin, and we see that the the skeleton is missing his head. So, I mean, I would probably be upset too. I don't know if you guys would be, like, if you're dead. I don't know if you care or not. But, like, either like, cremate the whole body, or, you know, bury me whole as much as possible, you know. But anyways, this guy basically says that, you know, he was trying to find Shrek in the swamp as well. And, he got attacked. And those people really wrecked this guy. He must have been, like, level 3. And instead of a bronze dagger, he's using a wooden one that his son gave him. So we go over here and we find his head under this rock, and then we get attacked by a level 7 skeleton. So yeah, if he was level 3 with a toy wooden sword, I can see why this would be a big problem. But for us, it's not a big deal. I just shoot a skeleton with a bow, which doesn't really make sense, because it'll just like bounce off his ribcage or go through. But you know, no big deal. Put the head on the skeleton, and then that will be quest complete. We got a cool little cutscene thing. This game's really big on cutscenes. And eventually, so there's no voice acting for the quest that we just did, but eventually there will be some. And I'm very excited to show off some of the voice acting in this game. Alright, quest number 2 is completed. Let's move on to quest number 3. Quest 3, sheep shearer. So, the farmer tells us to get the f*** of his land, which, you know, I don't really blame him. Probably a lot of people that go over here and steal his cabbages and stuff. But we're here to try to find a job. So the guy's like, hey, would you like a job? And we're like, no, we want a quest. And then, so the guy's like, yeah, sure, we can quote-unquote label it as a quest if you want, but it's really just work. So I think in the future, you know, everyone keeps complaining about how the new generation doesn't want to work. We'll just start calling everything quests and then, like, give small rewards along the way. We'll just give, like... we'll get somebody working at, like, McDonald's or something, and they'll make, like, a Big Mac for a customer, and then there'll be, like, a little Reese's Pieces we give them, and then be like, quest complete, and then, like, throw a little confetti out or something. But yeah, so this guy apparently only wants the black wool. Black. But I'm gonna go ahead and speed through this. It's basically just going back and forth between the same 2 black sheep. Once we get that, we just gotta go spit it into balls. We all know where to go. Up into the lumbridge castle top floor. And go spin it. And then after that, that's gonna be... See, this is what I'm talking about with going all the way to the top. You only have to click twice instead of maybe misclicking and going down the floor, and... I think that part is really nice. There's a lot of quality of life stuff in RuneScape 3 that... I think if they brought it over to old school, like, the community wouldn't be that mad about it. Like, being able to go up and down floors all the way. Who's really gonna get mad about that? Alright, quest number 3 completed. And now we're moving on. So I actually tried to find Romeo and Juliet, but apparently got replaced. And it got replaced by a quest that came out way later, so we can't even do this. I was very confused. I looked around for a long time to try to find Romeo. Figure out what's going on. But, yeah. The Shield of Arrav. My bad. I forgot about that. We have one more before Demon's Lair. Don't worry, it's coming. And that... that battle was, it was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. Trust me. So, you just basically go over here, talk to this dude. He says that there's a bunch of gangs ruining Varrock, and the guards don't do anything about it. Apparently they're getting paid off for some reason. I don't really know what's going on there. You think with, you know, a king living in a castle with all of his personal guards and the guards of the town, they could handle a couple of people in a gang, but apparently not. So, once I spin the camera around, see there on the 3rd shelf, it's like popping out right there. You just gotta look for that. We're gonna read the book really quick. The book basically says, there's a cool shield. Alright, so we talk to this guy again. We gotta figure out where these gangs live at. Alright, so this guy says that there's a scumbag that has been ripping him off in the Varrock Square for years now, and he might have connections to the gang. He's been selling them defective condoms. This guy's had like 14 kids already. The king's starting to get pissed off. He's running out of room in the castle. Okay, so we asked this guy where the Phoenix gang is. This guy's like, LOL, I don't know anything about that. And who are you, by the way? Are you like a cop or something? And then I flash my fake badge. And he's like, alright, I don't want any trouble. They're just down the road inside of a trap door. And I'm like, alright, thank you. I tried to get away with not paying this guy. But every option just made him laugh at me except for giving him the money. Even though I have like 2.6k, I just didn't want to give the money to the guy. I don't know why. Alright, so I go to this guy, and this guy's, he's definitely been around the block. He's basically a lawyer at this point. He's like, oh, hello, welcome to our underground legitimate business. And, I'm like, hey, I heard you guys were in a gang. And he's like, huh, no, you see, just because we're a black arms dealer, it actually is just, the name of our company. We export and import, apples. And, cases of cinnamon. We make cinnamon apples. And I'm like, yeah, bro, cut. Like, what do I have to do to join the gang? And, he's like, well, if you go and murder someone inside of a local bar, then, we might be inclined to let you in. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, come in. But anyways, we're about to go to the bar and start blasting. Do you think there's like a medieval version, since this has like bows and crossbows? Was there like a medieval version of you just started blasting? Or like a dude had like 3 or like 6 loaded crossbows and then anyways, I tried to talk to this guy first. I wanted to try to be peaceful. But he wouldn't talk to me. He says he's not interested in talking. So I gave him the old 1-2 right in the face with my bow. There was that special thing that I was talking about that like explodes for some reason. One of the things that's kind of weird to get used to is the loot tab. Because you can't like pick it up off the ground. You have to pick it up through the loot tab thing. And that took me a really long time to get used to. Like a really long time. I still mess around and try to click the ground sometimes. Alright, we're gonna go talk to Charlie the Tramp. This is what I'm gonna be basically in real life if my YouTube channel doesn't take off. But this guy's like a real life snitch, so automatically he's just like, oh yeah, those people, that gang, yeah, they're right behind me. I told him to get a job as well. He's never gonna get a job. He's just gonna stay here begging for coins. But anyways, we finally get to the place. And she tries to say it's private business, but I'm like, nah, I know you're the other gang. I know it. I can, Charlie told me outside. And she's like, that son of a he needs to be dealt with. I'm gonna send somebody to kill him. But they never do. They never send somebody to kill him. But anyways, I told him I want to join the gang. And they're a little bit more suspicious than the other people. The other people were just lawyering up, kind of. They're making it seem like, you know, if this was in the court of law, they might get away with it. So she says, we don't get people saying, hello, can I play? So I said, hello, can I play? And she's like, are you sure that you can be trusted? And I was like, yeah, it's okay, just trust me. And she says she's not sure. And now she wants us to go steal some crossbows. We start asking a lot of questions about the crossbows, and she doesn't like that. So yeah, she's gonna murder a high-value target with the crossbows. And then plant the evidence in somebody else's house. So they get blamed for it. It's a good thing I don't own any property around here, so... I mean, I'm basically in the same boat as Charlie the Tramp. So she just asked if I was a cop. So I tell her that I'm an undercover. Now she's just hurrying us along. She's trying to get us to go get those crossbows. But then so I'm actually wired. I have a wire on me to send back to the police department. And I started getting some feedback in this room. So my my wiretap started making weird noises, but I guess she didn't care. She just thought that was normal. Maybe all the gang members she has have wiretaps on them. But anyways, it's off to go get those crossbows. Give her the crossbows, go on in. Go upstairs, and then get the second half of the shield, and then this is basically wrapped up. We're just gonna go back to the castle and turn it in. I have to say, though, that the graphics in this, I really like the style that they did. It definitely... It looks a lot more modern. But it's still... You can tell, like, it's still RuneScape, you know what I mean? I think that's my, my favorite part about it. I think if they updated old school, people wouldn't be that mad about it either. I think there's, like... RuneLite or something has, like, a client like that, where all it does is just update the graphics a little bit. There we go. Quest
Completed?
complete. 1,200 coins in my pocket. We're gonna need that money later on. We're gonna need a lot of money, actually. So here you can see I trained up a little bit. We're about to go hit up Demon Slayer. And, you know, pretty basic stats. Full steel armor, 20 attack, 20 defense, 30 strength. Got a little bit of prayer, but we're not going to use that. Smithing and mining in this is actually way easier than old school. So I can go make all this armor, and it takes like no time. Alright, so this guy says that there's a big demon problem, and the whole place is going to be doomed if we don't help. And apparently we're the only person that happened to come by to church that day, so it's a good thing that we did, else all the realms would be doomed forever. And there'd be no point of this guy. He's gonna stay right here, like he's not gonna move, so if somebody didn't come by, then, you know, we'd all just die. So there's 3 things we gotta do down here. There's the faith, and then, I don't know, there's a couple of the other ones. Basically, you just go down here, you tell them what your purpose is, and then he's happy, he's like good to go. The next one is like truth, I think, or faith. And then this one, you just follow his directions, which is pretty easy. And then the next one is some kind of combat, and all you gotta do is kill some super easy skeletons. You can see how fast I'm just demolishing all of them. So at this point, I'm like, alright, this quest is gonna be way too easy. Like, I leveled up way too much, being a total level of 30. But we grab the Silverlight. That part's kind of the same. At least the sword's the same. And we find a little note on the ground. It tells us where we're going. We're kind of going back over to where the gangs are. Back in the southeast corner. So this part is way different because normally we'd have to go over to where the Dark Wizards are in old school RuneScape. And that's kind of like what I was expecting battle-wise. But this gets way harder. And I'm telling you, you'll see how close this is. Just wait. Alright, so to get through this part, you have to kill all the cultists. They're all super easy, obviously. Oh, this is not a big deal. I don't really have the fishing levels to have food, or to get, like, good food. So I'm picking up all the extra meat and stuff off of these guys that they drop for the fight, just in case I needed it. Although it would be very nice to have better food for this quest. So if you're doing this on like a regular account and not hardcore, bring like some salmon or some lobsters or something. Just go to the GE and buy them. because it'll be a huge help. The meat and the sardines that I brought only heal like 200. And that ain't it, Chief. Like, that does not heal up at, like, anything at all. So this has an awesome cutscene. I'll let you guys watch. I'll let you guys see it. Arise, almighty Derath. Bring destruction in the suit of this weak city. Derath, stop. Well, if it isn't Grilden Bade, you should have stayed in Edgeville. It's already too late. Behold! Dirgatharoth, with cleansing fire, I break the seal that binds thee. No! The demon is unbound. I'd love to stay and witness your annihilation, but I've got grocery shopping with my grandma to do. Alright, so I pull out the silver light, and here's this demon. This thing looks awesome. Okay, so we see in the cutscene that this guy has a shield. This is really important to note. So he goes to one of the four corners of the room. We start attacking this demon, right? This thing's level 15. It shouldn't be that hard. He's charging another attack. So you have to get inside the shield before the attack, like, finishes. So right there, I only did it. I took quite a bit of damage, but, like, not a bunch. So I'm trying to stay over to where this guy's at. But in my mind, I was like, wow, am I even getting to the shield in time, or is he just not doing that much damage? So I decided to just stay out of the shield one time, and then bam! Oh my god!
Big mistake.
I almost just died right there. Literally on Quest 5. Quest 5, and I almost died to the Demon Slayer quest when I'm way over leveled. Like, I'm double the level of this thing. But, oh, I get super, super lucky. I get back to the shield in time without it auto-retaliating me out of it. And we barely finish Demon Slayer. That was so close. And that really has me scared for the rest of the quests that are coming up. Because I do want to try to finish this on hardcore.
Completed?
And not die a single time. But I feel like I'm going to. Especially when we're going to get to Dragon Slayer next. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.